Usually, we are in the business of making our own plugins, but in some cases, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We're going to be looking at an example today. So, I recently realized that while it's possible to copy views across projects using the Transfer Project Standards option in the Manage tab, you cannot easily copy 3D views or in some cases plan views. So I proceeded to Google how to do this like any smart person would, and I Googled copy views between Revit models. I saw this Autodesk article, and this is where the bubble burst. It says, while Revit allows inserting drafting views and schedules from a project, it does not have built-in options to allow copying or inserting a 3D plan, section, and elevation view between Revit projects. This blew my mind because I thought for sure it should be possible. And then obviously I thought, okay, let me look at my existing toolkit. Let me check out, let's say, PyRevit, for example. In PyRevit, I went to Sheets and copy Sheets to open documents. This is what I would typically use for this purpose. And to my dismay, it only let me copy views that were placed on Sheets, which is not the case for me, as I was trying to copy a working view for one of my users that was accidentally deleted. Also, I found that even if this had the view in question on a sheet, because it's not a drafting view or a schedule, it did not copy. After reading through many forums and searching the web, I read about a tool called Transfer Single, and it was created by someone called Juan Osborne. Now, it is not a free tool, but it is a very affordable tool. It is $9.99. In most currencies, that is considered affordable for professional use, especially if your delivery depends on getting those views back. So if, for example, you deleted a view by mistake and you have a recovery copy somewhere, I'd recommend getting this tool, Transfer Single. It is available on the Autodesk App Store, and once you purchase, you get a single license. I don't think it is something that can be shared, meaning you may have to purchase a license per user. However, the creator is available here, and I know that he is responsive, so you can ask him questions directly. So without wasting your time any further, I'm just going to do a quick demo of what Transfer Single looks like. Here, I've created two models. I've called one Copy To, and I've called one Copy From. This is just to make it clear in this video, and I'm going to be copying this plan view and this 3D view. So back in my Copy To model, I'm going to go to my JO Tools. This is what it looks like when it's been installed. It's called Transfer Single, but it's named JO Tools after the creator, Juan Osborne. And the particular command that we want is this one. It's called Transfer Single. Once you click on it, you see a dialog that lets you choose which file you want to copy from. So I'm choosing the one I created. And here it's loading literally everything in the project. So this is not only for copying views. It's just that for most of these things, you could copy them maybe by hand, or you could copy them using the Transfer Project Standards application. This is the one instance where this tool is one of the few ways to achieve this. So now I'm going into the views. I want a 3D view, the 3D view I created, and I want the floor plan view that I created to copy, and I'm selecting both of them. And here I have some other options that you could choose to ignore, but we're gonna just go through them. So it's asking what to do where there are duplicates. Now, if for instance, this is a project that is restoring an earlier version, sometimes unfortunately, you would be restoring a view that still exists without knowing. And so it's asking what to do if it finds a duplicate of the view. Should it just replace it, abort, or ask you? Now, when you have several views to copy, the ask user can be a bit annoying. So I would go with just an okay if you're fine to replace the view, or to abort so that you immediately know that the view already existed. However, if it's a few views in question and you'd like to check them one by one, I'd go with the ask user option. You can choose to transfer sheet with views. You can also use it for legends and schedules as well. And you can also use it for callouts as well. You can choose to ignore dimensions and tags or keep dimensions and tags in the view. Now, in this case, I don't have a very elaborate view with dimensions and things, but I have tried it out on a more complicated project, and it does return all of the drafting that was available on the view before it was deleted. So the last thing I'm going to do here is choose the file I'm copying to, and now my transfer single button is active. And once I click on that, and it said transfer single copy to, which is the model I made to receive the copied files. It transferred to, there were 0 errors, there was no cancellations, and that's it. And now if I close and go to my project, I'm in my copy to project now, not the copy from. Here is the plan view that I copied, and here is the 3D view that I copied. And like I said, because there is nothing in these views, there is no difference. But you could try this on your own, and you'd see that it would retain all of your crop regions and all of your view settings, and everything is basically as it was. I'm not sponsored. Juan Osborne is not paying me to do this. It's just that when I searched YouTube to find a way to do this, I found there was no video explaining this particular tool, and I thought it would be helpful. So please give him a shout and let him know if you came from me. All right, guys, till the next video. Bye.